Hi, everyone. I'm Jan Byars. Today, we're going to be talking about wholeness, about how we take that inner sense, that knowing, that calm, clear place into our work. And I'm co-presenting today with Rebecca Parker.
Hi, Rebecca Parker. I live in Atlanta and have lived up and down the East Coast and familiar some with the West Coast, given where you are from. Just a quick word, this phrase, to be human and fully alive, I would say is the thread that's been behind all of my education, my adult work. When I was in graduate school at Yale, I was looking at group formation, how they come together, and then work in admissions in a graduate school was really about listening to what people's hope was for being fully alive. And that's what I've been facilitating through all of my adult work, wherever that showed up. So that's my heart, and what I am hoping for in this workshop with all of you is you being able to touch that place where you are most fully human alive.
Mm-hmm. For me, my work started around understanding wholeness. I came across David Bohm's work when I was working on my dissertation. Wholeness and the Implicate Order is the name of the book. And his very first term, when he was trying to describe the quantum holographic theory, was undivided wholeness and flowing movement. And that's really what we're talking about. We're completely and deeply interconnected. It's not woo-woo. It's not because we have smartphones. We have smartphones because undivided wholeness exists. So what we really want to do is drop deeper into that and work on our professional development, our spiritual development. As Ken Wilber calls it, we get to grow up, wake up, and show up. So let's start now, right this minute. Let's just take a whole minute. Get comfortable. Drop your shoulders. Just let yourself be. You can close your eyes or not. And let's focus our attention on the center of our chest. Breathing in and out, just a little bit deeper and a little bit slower than you normally would. And let's take three breaths together. There's a shift that begins to occur with this exercise. It's called coherence, and it changes our heart rate variability. Now, we're not going to talk about all that today. It's more than we need to know, but we will in the workshop. And if you're wanting to lead your life or to lead your organization, that clarity, that calmness, that well-being is the place you have to start. Without that, we're a little bit discombobulated, we're a little bit thrown off, and we're more likely to trip ourselves up, creating more and more difficulty in our life as we go. So underneath all of these things is our ability to self-regulate and to be self-aware. And that's the primary point of this development, both professionally and spiritually.
When you can self-regulate, you also have the ability to have, I call it a viewing platform. You have a place from which to observe yourself, and there's some spaciousness and some freedom in that. So another thing that we will be working on is, do you have a platform? Do you have a place where you can stand and observe yourself? And in that, be able to make a variety of decisions. You have movement. It's important to know that we do this work from three centers. in the workshop, we will be doing a lot of practice. We'll teach you the theory, but we'll be doing a lot of practice to help give you this space. So I wanted to briefly do a 3-centered awareness with you so you have some sense of what we're talking about. The 3 centers would be your mental center, and that's the one that we know the best. It runs the show. But there are 2 others, our sensing body and the heart. So if you will, it always begins with relaxation. Just become aware of your body and any place you're holding tension. And there are familiar culprits, and I bet you know them. So take a breath into that spot. We'll move through this quickly, just to give you a taste. So relaxing. And then we'll bring in this body intelligence. One of the quickest ways is to use your attention, not from your head, but letting attention, let's try the feet. Put your attention on your feet. Even just your big toe. You'll notice as you place attention on your feet, and if we had time, we would move up through the body. It comes online. There's a life force and intelligence. Can you feel the tingling? Can you sense it? The heart, that heart center. What are your feelings or emotions doing right now? Curious, running around, things that have to be done in the background. And let those feelings rest. They have a life of their own. Let them rest. They are not the source of our intelligence. It's your deep knowing. The part of you that can read a room when you walk in without ever speaking a word, if you're quiet enough. So let that energy be in your heart. Are you noticing that maybe your thoughts are slowing? Let's give permission now to that intelligence of the mind to release the busyness, the lists, just for a moment. Just release them. And now we hold the 3 centers together. When they can inform one another and work together, we have a much enlarged place from which to observe and to know. We'll end this now, here. And I will tell you that we have as part of signing up by, what is the date, Jan?
21st.
The 21st, you will receive a recording of a 3-centered awareness that would take you through the full process.
Thank you. So our course begins on March 30th. I hesitate to call it a course because it's really going to be way more centered in all of us, in our wholeness, than it will be in our minds. We have the graduate school. We'll fill you in. We'll answer questions. We can give you references if that's what you need. But it's really so much more important to be the experience, to experience wholeness. You literally change the way your brain is capable of thinking when you're in this state. Your capacity to make decisions is completely different. There is that sense of flow. In fact, what we're going to talk about is actually what Csikszentmihalyi called flow. How do we get into that state where we can know what our next move is? Entrepreneurial intuition, that spiritual download, they're all so important. The full information is on my website, janbyars.com/wellbeing. You can see it there. The course will begin on the 30th. We'll take a little 1-week break through the middle of that course so you guys have time, just a little bit more deepening, a little more practice before we close out the course on May 11th. If you sign up by the 21st, you're going to get a recording that I've already made, a call to wholeness. And it begins that deepening. So right away, you can start working on conditioning this state within your body. It can become a conditioned state. It can become an automatic reflex. Both Rebecca and I are giving the opportunity for a few people to have individual sessions. I'll be working on professional development. Rebecca will be on your spiritual direction, spiritual formation, spiritual
Ancient
development. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ancient wisdom.
Ancient wisdom. There you go. Together, they help us become more whole. We don't have to cut ourselves up into little tiny pieces. We need to show up fully in all the areas of our lives. The world needs us to show up fully in all the areas of our lives. We do have a book that's recommended, so this would be a great time if you signed up right away. You have time to get the book. The book's a short story. I actually wrote the science in a fairy tale. So it's two women fighting their way through the normal, unfortunately, what we would refer to as the normal stuff that work is, and how they find their center. So it has the resources and has the references and it has all that in the back half of the book. But the first half is the experience. Just like this class will be more about experience.
I highly recommend the book. It's very fun. And as Jane was saying, I think this material is useful for business, for home. It's the opportunity. I think so many of us find ourselves in a place that feels like we're not seen and heard, and we want more agency. Mm-hmm. And this is the opportunity to watch how this happens through an integrated way. The either or, push and pull, doesn't work. Mm-hmm. It's dropping down into a deeper part of yourself. And as Jan said, not only are you assisting yourself, you're giving to your whole business, to your family, whatever it is that's needing the attention and the possibility for communication, working together, integrating what matters to us. It's a win-win. This is reciprocal feeding. Mm-hmm. So we do hope that you'll take the opportunity to give this to yourself. Look at what we have to offer and join to be in conversation, not a lecture, but conversation with one another about our lives and what matters and how we can show up for our life.
Mm-hmm. Right. I forgot to mention. So on LinkedIn, there's a call to wholeness group. So we get to have community. We get to share with each other. We get to talk. You can send us questions. We can answer them. It's just a way where it's a little bit more personal. They are going to be live. We will record them. You will go to your participants page. You can download them. You'll have them forever. The course itself is $397. Of course, we take MasterCard, Visa, all that stuff. The individual sessions are also on that well-being page, so you could choose which way you want to go on that. And basically, it's an opportunity to grow at a depth and an integrated way. We're not just focusing on one technique. We're going to teach you how all of those things, all of these potential practices that you might have heard of, how they fit together. One integrated whole. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us here and watching our video. And we look forward to seeing you in class.
Thanks. Look forward to it.
Yeah. Bye-bye.